Let us begin. We will chant the first sloka, first two sloka today. Mano buddhahamkara cittaninaham na ca shotra jive na ca ghrana netri na ca vyoma bhumi na tejo na vayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Nacha Prana Shamgo Navai Panchavayu Nava Sapta Dhatu Nava Panchakoshaha Nava Panipadam Nachopasthapayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham 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 Shivoham. In human life, two things are very prominent, two things are there. One, this external world, which is also our body, another internal world. We can understand the external world, we can understand this physical body, we can understand the need of this body, but we have no idea about the internal, our spiritual life. That is totally absent. Only a very handful of people, they came to know about it. But every one of us, we are searching for peace, joy, happiness, success. But we do not know what is the secret of it. So we are trying in an external way, different way. We are going to different teachers, studying, and then trying to get good result, then acquiring good job, or money, or property, or social status. For what? For only to get peace, but we are not finding. Everywhere, that every step, we are losing, we are missing, and we are frustrated. So that is the reason, long back, our ancient people, they also were passing through all these experiences. So obviously, they were also trying to find out how to get the exactly something which we want. So two type of people, they started researching, one externally, another internally. And the external people, they discovered so many other things. Agriculture, then industry, then science. Now we know so many ways they have. Internal people, they discovered only one thing, that all problems remain in our mind. All the happiness, all the joy, all the feeling of success, and all the feeling of sorrow, sadness, all remain in our mind only. So they separated the body and the mind. And the body that we see is nothing but inert. Mind is the thing which we do not know. What is our mind? Though we say it is our mind, we do not know what is it. Majority of us we do not know. But this mind is actually the master. The body is nothing. It is inert, like the stone, like the wood, like the earth. It's nothing. So here Shankaracharya, through a Vedantic point of view, through the melodious way, rhythmic way, he is trying to put into our mind mana, buddhi, ahamkara, chitta, na aham. I am not that, I am not that. Then who am I? It goes on telling like this. Our internal subtle things are there, mind, subtle, very subtle. But still I am not that, beyond that. That is the uniqueness of Bharatiya Indian philosophy. Indian philosophy takes us so beyond, and in Sanskrit they call it para. Para means highest, highest, highest. And then also they declare, we do not know. Yasya matam, tasya amatam. Who thinks that I have understood, he has not understood. Why? Unlimited. Those who think that we have understood this whole thing, they have not understood. So that way, we started here. Our last discussion on Yoga Darshan was on the 18th August. Then afterwards, last Sunday I went to Atlanta, and then all the September Sundays, the 5 Sundays, it was dedicated to Swami Vivekananda. And the October 1st Sunday also, one Swami came and he gave a special discourse. So we are almost forgetting what we learned. So not only you, I have also forgotten. So this whole thing, because of the long absence, continuous, we have to think of this we have forgotten. Today, after almost 1.5 months, so we are meeting, and today is Navami, very special day. This Navami day, at the fag end of the fight that was going on between the goddess Durga, the combination of the whole holy forces, all the holy forces that combine goddess Durga. And all the wrong forces, bad forces, is the Mahishasura. He was the master of all the darkness, and Durga was the goddess of the light. So it is the fight between the darkness and the light. And when the light approaches the darkness, what happened? Darkness vanishes. And we can see the whole thing. That exactly what happened. Where? In our mind, within our mind. And that they are trying to teach us through a story. And the way they will be presenting it, so interesting. So we like to hear, we like to learn. But when we understand the truth, we understand that it is again within our mind. So this is, the light means knowledge. What is light? What is jnana? Whenever you will see almost in all Hindu temple, they will be putting on one either candle, mostly the lamp they will be burning continuously, 24 hours, all the 365 days continuously. Why? No, one should do in the temple, lamp should not be blown off. It must be, they will be protecting without knowing. What is the symbol of it? What is the symbol? Knowledge should be constantly alert, because there are so many things constantly dragging us. Bhagavan Buddha has given the name Mara, M-A-R-A. Mar means temptations. Christianity, they say temptations. Buddhism say Mara. Hinduism say the same thing, Maya. So almost the same type. What is this? these worldly things, it has tremendous attraction, and that constantly attracts us. And that is called asura. That attracts to what? To body. What we get? Body comfort. And after that what? Pain. And after that what? Bondage. After that what? Once again taking birth. After that what? Again experiencing the pain and sometimes the pleasure. Sometimes it is the pain only, pain only, pain only. So that is why when one can understand this truth, what he will do? He will try, he will strive to break this bond. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is giving one example. Suppose, Swamiji also said, suppose a man, a very poor man, he was lying in a room. Then he came to know just the other room in between him and the wealth, huge wealth is there. Only a wall is there in between, and that is also not very strong. So what he will do? Can he sleep? He will be thinking constantly how to break this wall, how to get that wealth so that I can be also rich. It is just lying over there, and it is not anyone's property. I can also take it. Only thing, I have to break the wall. What is that wall? Maya. What is that wall? Temptation. What is that wall? Mara. So all the time all problems are coming. Then problem is where? In our mind. And that is why we have to understand that is the thing we have to get. What is that thing? We have to understand our mind. We have to control our mind. If we can control our mind, then everything is ours. That is the only simple thing. All success, all joy, all peace depend on only that. That is the way we have to understand. And where from the knowledge comes? Whether somebody will come and give me, whether Guru can give it to me, whether others can give it to me, no. It is also clear, depends on you. Adhikarinam ashaste phala siddhi visheshataha. Shankaracharya in his Vivek Chudamani, he is clarifying this. Adhikarinam ashaste. Adhikari, the student, the person who is trying to get it, on him everything is depending. Adhikarinam ashaste phala siddhi. The result is depending on the person who is trying to. Upaya, desha, kala, adya, etc. Adya means etc. Upaya, the process. Desha, kala, the surrounding, the time. All these things are only supporting you, that's all. We go to a good place, a temple, a holy man, and then we get all those things. But that much, it cannot help us. Yesterday I went to a school where they are observing Durga Puja, the Bengali Association of Chicago, and that too is not a very famous school, almost an ordinary school. But that is so big, so vast, so much of arrangement. We cannot think of in our India and Bangladesh, and we cannot think of that type of schools. But the school is good. Who is going to attain the knowledge? Students. Everything is there, but the student don't like to accept it. It can't accept it. It is not having the capacity. What happens? Zero. So whether he is going to school or to the playground or this, it depends nothing. School is there, teacher is there, library is there, laboratory is there, all environment is there, timing also perfect, but so adhikarinam ashaste, it is the person. And this person, two things again in that, what? Effort and kapala, as we call it, is luck. That also. If you don't have the luck, if you don't have your getting the previous life good actions, you will never get that. People, they go to everywhere. They are going to the temple, but they are not careful about the God, goddesses, temple, holiness. No. They are going to temple. They are not going to the park. They are not going to the cinema houses. They are not going to any other place, hotel. They are going to temple. But what for? Sri Ramakrishna again says, they will go to temple and they will be busy making their grandchildren to offer pranam. By the way, they themselves will forget to offer pranam to God. What is the fun? So we are all so very careful about so many other things. But what for I have going to temple? I saw previously also one temple I went. All people, they will be standing before the image. They are taking the snap, the photograph, keeping their back at the God or goddess, taking the snap. Never caring about the God. I never saw someone bowing down over there. They are thinking, why should I? They just like doing this, that's all. Why? Shame. How can I be kneeling down over there? And what for? Ahamkara. Before whom? God, goddesses. So why they are doing this? Again Maya. So this is the thing we have to understand before we go. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna again, this is the wonderful in his whole life. Once what happened, he went to the temple and he found it is dirty on the floor. He wanted to offer pranam sitting over there, bowing down on the floor itself, but it was dirty. So he didn't offer pranam. He stood over there and did like this and came back. Then suddenly it occurred to him, why I didn't do? I was careful about my dress. It will get dirty. What is there? I will throw the dress and some way, whether I am making it dirty or not, it is going to be thrown away someday. So why not today? Again he went back to the temple, prostrated over the floor. He got all the dirt, etc. But he was happy. Why? Bichara. So sometimes delusion will be there, okay, but at the same time, we have to go on developing this type of discrimination. What for I have come over here? This is the purpose. So even the hotel, if we go and we sit over there and doing kirtan, that is not the place to do the kirtan. The hotel is a place to enjoy food, chatting with the friends. It is a different thing. Different place. So when we are going to the hotel, we are thinking of the temple. When you are going to the temple, thinking of something else. That's why Sri Ramakrishna said, the purpose should not be forgotten. When you are going to that particular place, remember it. Then he gave again he is quoting an incident. All the ladies of the village, they were going to a pilgrimage. Vishalakshi. Vishalakshi means, Akshi means the eye. Vishala means huge, big. And what is that? Goddess. What she does? In the Chandi, if you see the last chapter, it will be saying, Shatakshi, 100 eyes all over the body. That means what? She is looking constantly, watching constantly, observing constantly. And that same thing again it has come in the Vaishnava. This is in the Tantra. In the Vaishnava, it is that our Jagannatha. So that way, Jagannath also only eyes. It is not having the eyelid even. So Akshi, Vishalakshi. So there was in the village, still it is there. Whenever we go to the birthplace of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, it is, I don't know exactly, maybe a few 100 kilometers from Calcutta city. Still it is there. You can go to that, and there whoever, it is just on the open ground. People used to go and do puja, and all the boys around the village, they will come and eat. So whenever you are offering, all the children will come and eat. And now they will be dictating, hey, why these cheap things you are bringing? Purchase the good sweets and give. So I went and they were telling, Swamiji, won't you offer the rasgulla? Mother like rasgulla. And who said mother likes rasgulla? You know, mother is having diabetes and they never heard the word diabetes. And what is that? They were asking. I was just making fun with them. Then of course I fed them the rasgulla. They were so happy. And this, all these women were going, and they have bathed, they have owned the new clothing, they were taking the fruits, sweets, flowers, everything. But what they were chatting, what they were talking, all their family problems and things. You know what happened in my house? They were going. They are going to a pilgrim center, they are going to offer puja, but their mind was back in the home. Sri Ramakrishna was a young boy of 8 years. He couldn't, that time, it's not the age to tell something to the elderly people. But he was a God, so he wanted to bless them. So what happened? He fell down, unconscious. So all their attraction was on Sri Ramakrishna. And they were, oh, what happened to this boy? And then one lady started taking the name of God loudly, chanting the name of Goddess. Sri Ramakrishna again became normal, consciousness came back. By that way, he attracted their attention on God, on Sri Ramakrishna himself, who is the God. So that way the blessings were coming because he liked them, simple-hearted ladies. And then he is telling, when you are going to a temple or pilgrimage center, you must be careful. So how we can do that? How we cannot do that? Because of the mind. We want to do, but the mind will be deviating here and there. How to control the mind? That is exactly what we were learning. And this mind, to solve this problem, a method was developed long back by Patanjali, a rishi. Why rishi? Because I told that some of the rishis, they were researching externally how to develop the good crops and all these things all around, how to develop materially. And some of the rishis, intellectual people, they were concentrating how to develop the mental forces, etc., etc. This Patanjali, he said the meditation, yoga. Yoga means meditation, and that's why in the beginning, a few months, we were discussing about why should we meditate. Unless and otherwise we are convinced that it is good for us, this meditation, why should we do? So we were explaining what meditation will help us, how it will help us. If we want to success, we have to control our mind, meditation. If we want the peace of mind, we have to control our mind, that is again meditation. If we want to be happy, we have to control our mind, again it is meditation. So this is there is in Sanskrit they say, Nanya Pantha, na anya pantha, Nanya Pantha, Vidyate Ayanaya. Except na anya pantha, there is no other way, there is no other method except the vidyat. Vidyat means knowledge. A perfect scientific way, this Patanjali, he has developed this famous rishi, a process. And this process comes from Ashtanga Yoga. He says, Ashta Anga. Anga means the part. The 8 parts are there. Ashtanga Yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, these 8. And without following the beginning, we straightway go to dhyana. And then, without the staircase, without the help of the ladder, we like to jump on the terrace. Is it possible? So what happened? Failure. We break our neck, we break our leg. So that way we are failure. The first thing is yama. This yama means ahimsa. The very first thing. Ahimsa means having love and concern for everyone. The moment we are having hatred, the moment we are disbelieving others because they are following something else, not liking others, that's also himsa. Ahimsa doesn't mean only vegetarian food. No. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he only took a little of it. But why? To prove. It has nothing to do with that. So ahimsa means it is mental, not physical again. Completely mental. And for that, if you think that type of food will help you, you are welcome to follow that. If you think this food will help you, you are welcome to follow that. It's not nothing, but there is no restriction that you must have to do this, no. This is first ahimsa, then comes satya, truthfulness, whatever has happened, exactly that. Then asteya, non-stealing, and then comes brahmacharya. That is very, very important for the spiritual life, because we are trying to go beyond the body consciousness. What is spiritual life? Spirit. And spirit means beyond the body consciousness, and that is the most very, very difficult thing. And then aparigraha, not accepting things which is we don't want, but going on accumulating, accepting, not like that. Whatever is necessary, you accept that, that's much. Or other things, whichever is coming, distribute, give it to somebody else. So that is the first step. Now, hundreds of schools have come up and they are teaching yoga, meditation. If you go and see the very first step, how many are following? Almost none. It is nil. And that's why the result, 0. Why we can't control our mind? Because the very first step we have not learned. This is yama. Then comes niyama. Niyama means first is shaucha, cleanliness. This cleanliness, shaucha, that is physically, mentally. If we are dirty physically, we cannot be clean mentally also. So one should be very clean physically. Then a time comes when you don't remember your body even. That time you don't care about all this. This is shaucha, then containment, santosha. Mind is always peaceful. You are always in joy. You are in containment. Then you can meditate. Look at it. These first two steps, yama and niyama. Then comes austerity, tapasya. This is also very important. Sometimes you must fast. Why? At the time of you will see, at the time of puja, when so many varieties of food will be offered to God, and those the pujari who is offering it, and others who are helping, they are fasting. To control their mind, because this tongue, control of the tongue is very important. One student back in Purulia, so we chose some of the students who are supposed to be very good. And it was Kali Puja, and Kali Puja in India goes for the whole night. It begins at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, ends at 4 morning. And in the night, almost 1:30 or 2 o'clock, they are all fasting, these boys. And we had 700 boys. Out of that, only we took maybe 5 or 6 or 7. So he was a very good boy, but he was hungry or tempted. What happened? He was carrying the laddus that's to be offered to the goddess Kali. And laddus was just like a pyramid. It was there. Then the last one, the top one, it was so near to his mouth, he couldn't control. So he tried to eat it, but it is so hard and big. He grabbed it because both the hands were engaged. He was holding that plate and it was heavy, so many laddus. And when he grabbed that, it was half inside, half outside. It was so difficult for him. And then one person saw him in that condition. It was almost 1:30, 2 o'clock, I can't remember now, the midnight. Then what will happen? That man brought him to me. Swamiji, this is, then immediately I told, okay, leave this over there. Then I sent him to the shop again because shopkeepers were known, purchased those and then sent that. It took some time, but somehow he managed. So this happened. We cannot control. And that is the reason we have to be away from them. Sometimes some people will be telling, why you are shunning the women? Why you don't mix with them? Why you don't do this, that? We are sannyasins. The first training is of the sannyasins that if you are a male body, you should not go to the female. We know why. If you are a female, if you are a lady, if you are a girl, then you should not look at the male. You know, when I went to Sarda mission, there all the brahmacharis, it looked so odd. But the moment I entered into that, without announcing, of course, their senior Mataji, she was taking me. The moment I entered, they were all doing something, work in the computer. They stood up, turned their back to me and standing facing the wall. And so peculiar. And naturally you should feel, oh, insulted, why they are behaving like this. Exactly they did what they should do. That is called the containment. And here, this continence, the brahmacharya is very important, and there we have to follow it. Suppose you are in the household. You are in the household and then naturally, it is natural for you. You need not to practice it. But suppose you have left your hearth and home to become a sannyasi. It is your dharma, first thing, to practice it. So you should not mix up. Sometimes some people who are not, you don't know, they will be mixing up in that way. So this is to be very clear. If I am in the world, this is nothing wrong and I must follow it, no problem. But if I am giving up the world, becoming a sannyasi, this is my process. I must have to follow it. So this is that we call it dharma. Dharma for what? This yama and niyama. Ishvara pranidhanani. But how to control this? Constantly you have to go on remembering God. That's why we need diksha. This is a very important thing. Without diksha, can't we realize God? Many people will be asking. Why not? You can. Very difficult. The Guru comes and tells you that this is your God, your Ishta, and you follow it. You believe it. That's the only thing that you have to do, believe it. And go on repeating that one nama. But that's all. Believe it. Because it is tested truth. Thousands and millions, they have realized God only by this way. They go on repeating the name of God and then sometimes trying to imagine the God within your heart, and sometimes you see something very good. Then whenever we see the Himalaya, we used to go to Himalaya, we saw, and some one of our Swami will say, look, from here, don't you see the Shiva is lying down? Imagining. Where Shiva? How should? Then he saw some like this. See, that is the nose. See, that is the chest. See, that is the hand. Do you remember? Imagine. There's nothing wrong. That is the way you have to control your mind. Whenever, wherever, every moment, Ishara pranidhanani. You are constantly remembering God in everything. When this we practice in the evening time, the prayer. When the prayer was written and sang by Swami Vivekananda. And if you imagine that Swamiji is singing, Swami Vivekananda, all that spiritual luminaries, the great souls of Sri Ramakrishna, they're all sitting all around. You are also within them. Then the goddess Ma Kali is coming. Then the goddess Ganga is coming. Such a holy place, holy. And then Khandana Bhava Bandhana. Oh, please cut the bondage of this samsara. You are praying. The very first word is that prayer. And that gives, if you go on singing perfect tune, melody, you are a singer. But if you are imagining and singing, then you are a sadhaka, sadhika. Then you are a spiritual seeker. That is the difference. That's all. It's only mind, this imagination, that's all. When you are imagining, whether people sitting at my back or the people sitting at the front, are they liking my song? Am I perfect in my tune? Whether after my song, I will wait for the clappings. Then you are a singer. The same song you sang for the clappings of others. Sri Ramakrishna, he used to love to hear Swami Vivekananda. He was a very good singer, Vivekananda. And his voice was like the Chinese gong. Someone has, if you just beat, it will go on resounding. So his voice was like that. And one day, he was a young man of 19, 20. So obviously he was thinking what song he will sing, whether he can impress the others. When he sang, afterwards Sri Ramakrishna told, today your song was as if a curry cooked without salt. Without salt, if you cook a curry, how it tastes. So like that. Your song was like that. Why? Because all other things were all right, except devotion. So your mind was not devoted. So when we are singing with all devotion and imagination, then you are a sadhaka, sadhika. And if you are not, so this is called, then it is telling that yogas chitta vritti nirodha, it goes. Asana, pranayama, pratyahara, we have already discussed. And what is yoga? Simple. Chitta vritti nirodha. You have to control all the waves of the mind. And what happens when you control the mind? All these things he tells in the beginning itself. The second sloka, aphorism, he says the definition. And the third one, just third one, he says what happens, the result of meditation. You see your own self. That's all. The excellent, no ambiguity, no telling things in a different fashion so that you are confused. No, very straight way. So after controlling your mind, what you will get? You will get lot of wealth, you will get lot of appreciation from the world, you will get this position, that position, and you will be free from all your ailments, you need not to visit any doctor. Then it's not telling like this. Very simple. You will suffer, you will go to doctor, you will have to take medicine, someday you will die, someday people will praise, someday people will criticize, but one thing is going to be sure, that you will see your own self. Tada, that time, drashtu swarupe, swarupa, my own self, who am I? So that is the question. Am I this physical body? Am I this name and form? No. Many of the people, even after taking the sannyasa, they will be mentioning doctor such and such, or afterwards MA, LLB, or become something like that. They have not understood the sannyasa itself. They must have to understand that this is not the things that we want for. Whether the people are praising or not, I have to be true to myself. This is very, very difficult. That's why the sannyasa means why in the society they all respect the sannyasins, the monks, the recluse, because of this struggle, because of tremendous struggle inside. And then Swami Vivekananda said very clearly, very handful they try. Those who try, 80% of them, they become hypocrite. 80%. So difficult. 15% genuinely try, maybe 0.1% will be successful. It is not such an easy thing. Controlling the mind, so difficult. So here, tada drashtu sarupe avasthanam. Then we came to this sloka, vritti sarupyam itaratra. And then what happens? When we come up from the meditation, when we break our meditation, what happened? It is natural, normal. Vrittaya panchatayaha klishta aklishtaha. This is in the 5th sloka. See the observation. Just like the scientist, every step has been explained. What will happen after this, what is that, everything. If this is not science, then what is science? Just something we are discovering in the laboratory and we are thinking that is science. Science means the special knowledge. Vishesha jnana vijnana. Special knowledge. And this is special knowledge. Observing the mind. In the mind itself, there are 5 types. Klishta, aklishta. A few are giving us joy, happiness, a few are giving us pain. So only 5 are there. And what are those 5? That they have explained. Avidya, Ashmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha. So first comes the avidya. Again, we come back to the same place. Vidya and avidya. Vidya means knowledge. Avidya means ignorance. Ignorance is also a knowledge. Ignorance is also a knowledge. What is that? Absence of true knowledge. Absence of true knowledge is avidya. One person was so forcefully, he was arguing. I was trying to tell him, why you people are not joining in this force that we have to topple the present government in India, we have to change and then we have to do this. I don't know. I have nothing to do with that. Why should I? You do. If you are liking, you must do. The unity of all the Hindus, suppose we become all united, what will happen? Do you think we won't fight? You look at people, other people, they are all united. They separated the country on the basis of that religion and then they are fighting among themselves. We are not there. Nobody is there. They are fighting among themselves. If the religion won't be there, then the brothers will fight among themselves. Because within us there is himsa. We are not ahimsa. We are very, very ferocious type. Inside us always the cruelty is there. Only we are covering it, that's all. That's why we are not realizing God, otherwise we would have been God ourselves. We are only covering. It is not so easy, brother, but he couldn't understand it. He was arguing and then he offered, come one day, whole day we will discuss. Suppose we discuss, what result? Suppose we discuss and then you defeat me, then what happened? I am not changing my path. Suppose I convince you, you are not going to change your path. So let us be, you be also happy, I am also happy. So I wanted to tell him after that, he ordered a plate of food and I also ordered for something else. I wanted to tell him, see, both are hungry. You are also hungry, I am also hungry. But you are eating a separate thing which I am not eating. But with that, you are satisfied. With this food, I am also satisfied. That means what? It is externally, the food are different, but satisfying our hunger. Similarly, our thought also, if you are satisfied with those thoughts, go ahead. Do what you are thinking. But I am satisfied with my thought. Long back, when you were very young, different type of social movements come in the developing country, all people like to do something good. And they think that if we do like this, it will be good. The other people think if we do like this, it will be good. So different type of approaches, and mostly they think if we take up the arm, kill some people and then eradicate those people, and we will be successful, we will be happy. Look at the history, it never happened. So one very close friend of mine, I still remember him when I was a small little kid, school, some boys would be bullying and all that. I was a pumpy young boy, and other boys used to come and push me, and he used to protect me because he was very strong even in that age. And then he told me, if you come, we will join in the boxing club. In the school itself they used to teach. Then if you learn boxing, nobody will come and disturb you. So I also joined, but it was so difficult, so I left afterwards. But that, when you grew up, we were young, he joined in that type of movement. I told him again and again, by these we cannot solve the problem. We have to solve the problem in a different way. And by spreading education, the real knowledge, helping people to stand on their own feet, helping people to think properly, that is the thing that we can do. And that will be a permanent solution for the problem. Because I used to read Swami Vivekananda, I used to tell him. He never listened to me. Then we separated. My path became different, he became different. Long afterwards, I found him that something happened. He was fighting against the army, police people in the jungle. Then he lost his hand. He blew the hand. Now nothing is there. So now when he sees and he says, yeah, you were correct. I was wrong. Next life, I will try to rectify. I told, okay, you are welcome. So this way, we always make mistake. Why? And there we need one thing, blessings. Blessings of God. Buddhi yogam dadamaham. And after joining the monastic life also, after joining the devotees also, you will find so many people. All their life they are dedicated, they are coming to the ashram. Even then, they do not know how to think positively. What for we come for the ashram, to the ashrama? Why we go to the temple? Why we are donating? Why we are helping, giving the voluntary job? If we are not clear about that idea, all these things will go in vain. That we have to understand. Idea should be very clear. This is the purpose we are going. So here is Sri Ramakrishna is telling, Ishwar ke jana naam hi hocche gyan, baki shab agyan. In Bengali, he is telling, only knowledge is to realize God, to know yourself. All other knowledges are all in vain. So how we can do that? We have to cultivate, develop. We have to hear good words, positive words. We have to go in a secluded place, all alone, think all these things, of which what I can follow. All these things are not possible for me to follow at a time. But let me take up this thing, this idea, and then let me follow. That is your discrimination. This is my path. I should go in this way. And that's why Swami Vivekananda is telling, let each and every individual be a sect. Look at the bold words, revolutionary sentences. He is telling, let every individual be a sect. But let there be no sectarianism. Sectarianism means my path is only best, and there is no other path that can lead to God. That is sectarianism, narrow. And what? From the sectarianism, what comes? Fighting, ill feeling, war, bloodshed. Is this the result we wanted to after practicing religion, after worshipping God, whatever may be the form? No. Then what? Because avidya. That's why in Sanskrit they give much stress on vidya and avidya. These are the two things. And this avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, these are the thoughts constantly come. Avidya means ignorance. What is that ignorance? Not clear about the result. That is avidya. Not clear about the result. Then sometimes we will be going to pilgrimage, because particularly in India, I don't know why, but the pilgrim centers are in a very, very difficult places. So when we are going, then one Swami, he was very funny, the jovial, and he also joined. I will also go. I knew that it will be difficult for him because you must be physically strong. You have to walk nearly in that difficult terrain for almost 13 miles. It's only one person can go. This side, a little this, and you will go down to 1,000 feet. And the left hand side, only that hill. So it's so difficult and very dangerous. So he was coming after some time, he lost the breathing, he was feeling difficulty. Then he started shouting, why we have to come all the way to here to see God? Is not God there in Delhi? We could be at Delhi comfortably. I told, nobody invited you to come. You have chosen. When you have decided that you will go to this place, you must know that this is a difficult place. Then only you mentally you have to prepare yourself. After coming here, you must have to walk. You cannot go back. You have to walk. I started pushing him from the back, and he started, and after reaching over there, he was so happy. So like this, it always go. Why we suffer? Because of this. When we join in an order, monastic order or whatever, suppose in the army, military, we are joining. They have rules, they have regulations, you have to follow. After joining in the army, if you say, no, why should I have to be in the sun when all people are inside the air condition? Then why you have joined in the army? You are supposed to face those type of hardship. Otherwise you can be anywhere. So that's why when we are deciding, we have to be very careful what we are going to choose. And after that, 100% we have to give to that. Then you are happy. Otherwise not. So that is the jnana and ajnana. It's not always the realization of God. It's very, very practical in our life also. So jnana and ajnana. One boy, almost every day he will be ringing from Calcutta. When I was there, he used to constantly. Problem is going on with his mother. The mother has become elderly and she wants that the boy should marry and bring and all the household, and they have no one else, only the one boy and the mother. Father died. The mother is telling that I have become old, I will die someday, I want to see you settled. He said, I am settled, I am perfect. But you know, in India, all his mothers are so compassionate, they will be forcing. Now he was telling what to do. How can I cannot just say mother on her face, I am not going to listen to you, she will be hard. And I cannot see her crying. Then what to do? And then you marry. If you don't like to see your mother crying, make her happy by marriage. Marry. Now, if I marry, I won't be able to survive because I don't want to marry, and tell it to her that I am not going to be happy after marriage. That is sure. And that is the reason I am not going to marry. If you cry or if you are not happy, I am sorry, I cannot. Because I am sure if I do that, I am going to bring the whole life's trouble. You have to take the decision. And then your mother, anyway, she will be passing away someday. Maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. But your life, you have to again suffer for another 40 years perhaps. So, decision you have to take, and in this condition, no adjustment. So, that is the place you have to be very, very decisive. Now, this is, I know that this is going to be the best path for me. Somebody told, if you practice this, it is good for you. After practicing few days, no, it's not. Then another, then another, then another. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna says, there was a person who wanted to have some water from the earth. So he was digging. After digging a little, then he said, no, water is not coming. He went to another place. He went to another place. All through his life, he went on digging almost whole field, never got the water. So you need the patience. Once I have taken up this, I am going to go on digging, whether I get the water or not. I am not leaving it. This is my decision. Ashishta, Dhrishta, Balishta. If you have to realize God, this type of tremendous mental energy is necessary. That is the control of the mind. So we will be, in the next Sundays, we will be again reading it and going on describing how this 5 type of things come in our mind. Brittaya, Panchataya, Klishta, Aklishtaha. At that we must again we know, and then we will go for the 6th aphorism, Pramana. Very important thing. The most of the science will be telling we don't accept anything without Pramana. And what is that Pramana? You see in our Shastra how perfectly they have given the definition of Pramana. So that next day we will again read about that. I don't know whether you have having this paper with you all today. I don't know, maybe next day we will organize here. I will chant on your behalf. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupo vibhutvacha sarvatra sarvendriyanam nava sangatam naiva muktirnamiya chidananda rupa shivoham 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 shivoham. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Maybe all of you know that one of our devotee, Raj Thakral, he has invited all of us, anyone, to go to his house. He has a big house and he has invited the devotees only to go there. And we'll be meeting one of our Brothanandaji is already there, some devotees are already there. Now we will go. If you like to come, you can join me, you can go over there. We will have little puja, discussion on the Shakti, and then have the lunch, prasad, and then come back. Maybe a 1 or 2 hours program there.